Hiyo mkono, watu wanajua hiyo mkono, watu wanajua hiyo mkono. Hi guys, welcome back to the Cyco podcast. For those guys who are listening to us, to me on audio, welcome, karibu sana. Those guys who are watching on YouTube, thank you so much for always watching, subscribing, commenting, leaving a like and everything. I know you guys are used to seeing me with two other people, but as you all know, situations, times are hard. Companies are downsizing, and one of the companies that had to downsize was Cyco, the Cyco digital company. Kwa sababu ya redundancy, alafu pia watu kama hawapigi targets, watu hawaleti views venye wanafaa kuleta. Unajua tunawafukuza kiasoni ni wafukuza kidogo. So currently they are jobless. If you have a platform unaweza wapea. Ni watu wazuri by the way, mmoja anaweza ongea hata Kiembu. So she can work anywhere across the country. Huyo mwingine her broken Kikuyu cannot even get her a job in Kiambu. So tafadhali watu wengine, any other person, chukueni Nyawera, chukueni Wanjiru mwapee kazi because at the moment hawana kazi. Wako jobless. But anyway, it's all good. I'm really excited about today because today I'm not just dropping one podcast, I'm dropping a podcast and a song. And so I was like, I need to do a podcast that maybe relates with the song or is in tune with the song. And I've just dropped a new song today. It's called Anaona, featuring Kambua. It's an amazing song. So make sure before you even continue with this podcast, just pause, go watch the song, leave a comment, like, subscribe, share. Then you come back. Then tuendelee. I'm namna gani, my friends? Yes. So from last week we were tackling the topic of friendship, and you guys mazem show love. You guys gave feedback. There's some people who are also complaining that they feel like Ben Cyco, your podcast is changing, sijui. Now I'm here, and I'm also gonna be having series where I'm just doing this alone so that I can bore you guys to sleep. It's like hii podcast inaweza shika vizuri sana hapo hivyo 10:30, 11 before you kulala. You won't even notice it, man. And today I'm going to be tackling a very special topic to me that's called trusting the process. I get so many requests to talk about different things. There are people who want me to talk about love, some want to talk about money, some want to talk about conflict, corruption, world peace, Israel and Pakistan. Is that land really for Israel? Is it for Pakistan? Oh, Trump, is Trump serious? Libya, Somali. We'll tackle all those. And I love all these topics. Trust me, I do. But there's one topic that comes very special to my heart is trusting the process. Because, isn't that all of us? See, we're all doing something, we're all trying to achieve something, we're all trying to conquer a field, we're just trying to make it, man. And so I thought I'd share this. But the way I'm gonna share this, trusting the process, I won't sit down and give you guys tips. The same way I did with grief, I'm gonna give you my story of how it's been for trusting the process. So before we even continue, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, leave a love, share, whatever, man. So let's continue. This trusting the process journey has been very close to me because it relates more to my music. I've been doing music for a long time. I think I started doing music in 2009, man. Back in some studios huko Komano, noma sana. Well, zikuwa noma, ziko shade crazy. But that's when we started doing music. And then we formed this group called Cyco, 3 guys who thought, what's the name of this our British band? Is it the Jonas Brothers? No, there's another one that was there.
One Direction.
What? Yeah, I came with my peer. One Direction. We thought we were gonna be the next One Direction from Luyaland and Kiambu. So we started doing music as a group, and in 2012, I won't say everything about this whole journey because it's been long and it has so many stories inside. So I'm gonna be picking highlights, some of the highs, the lows, the discouraging moments, the funny moments, the confusing moments, the proud moments. All those moments, I'm gonna be covering them. And the journey starts very well in 2012 because in 2012 we started off as rappers. Like we'd just go to places and rap, like we say on a battle, to go up and down into a freestyle. If there's this thing happening, we're there rapping. Myself, Dumbies, Kags would come in with the vocals. So in 2012 is when we got our first hit record, I'd say. Let me just call it hit for now. Got our first hit record. And what happened is there was... so during this time, in 2012, some of the hottest shows on TV Wow, one of them was Straight Up. You guys remember Straight Up? Old guys. But it's just sini juzi too. Since 2012. 2012 is like just 2 hours ago. Since I saw asubuhi tu tukula breakfast. So in 2012, one of the hottest shows was Straight Up. And I remember the host for Straight Up at that time was K-Trix, Ian Mugoya, and Mr. Mimo. So when we dropped that song, I'm a Champion, this song first was shot by Anaona and all that. Anaona, it was a very good video.
Ladies and gentlemen, cry Cycos. We had to do this again. We had to do this again. I'm a champ. I'm a champion. I'm a champ. I'm a champion. I'm a champ. I'm a champion. I'm a champ. I'm a champion bila kusela million. I'm a champion cause me is a civilian. I'm a champion cause hell mini villain. Earth mini alien. Heaven me civilian.
So there was this challenge for get guys to vote for you. So that, and then the artist that will be voted will have the most votes atakuja on set. It was a group of new artists, and then they were like, so you vote for this guy. So it was there were two people, Cyco and a guy called Vudusela. And I saw Vudusela as a presenter now at Kiss TV. Big shout out to my boy Vudusela, man, very very sick rapper. So your day ilikuanga, the challenge was between Vudusela na Cyco. Cyco ni nani? Sisi tunajua kumobilize. Si ilikuwa kama campaign. We started telling our friends, man, like we text everyone on your phone book. Ilikuwa High Farm. In fact, hata my friends walikuwa chanza kunickname kaule msewa High Farm. So ilikuwa High Farm, we have been nominated on this thing on KTN. Straight Up, and we need your vote. So guys voted, and I think the voting was happening on Facebook. So we mobilized so many guys and we won that challenge. So who was going to go to studio? Not Vudusela, Cyco, which I'm gonna share the video actually for the whole interview.
So you're telling me how you guys met?
Yeah. We were in the same school. We were all in choir, all in music club, and then I came up with the whole idea of Cyco.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So I was just looking for guys who can. I was looking for something in somebody. Okay. So I signed these two guys.
You signed them, so he's the boss.
I signed them.
So we went to Straight Up. And Amina hosted us and Ian Mugoya. Man, ilitupea mileage maze. You stuff, like a lot of guys started now recognizing who we were, what we were doing. Just this bunch of 3 cool kids, and we thought we were cool, man. Tulikuwa na maswag, tulikuwa na manini zingine hapo hivyo. I don't know what I'll call them. It was like an Arafat thing that you put around your neck, and maybe sometimes you cover your head. And so tukaenda kwa show nini, and Tamima, after the interview, Tamima invited us for an event at SD, which was at Panafric Hotel. They were launching SD, the platform right now. So Cyco was the first artist to perform at that launch. So after we performed, Tamima now she took my hand, she took me to the head of Pulse, who was Stevens. She took me to Njambi, Njambi at that time was the head of SD. Tamima took me to all other media, what do I call them? Media departments that were under Standard Group. So amesha to introduce hivyo. So Cyco zikaanza kushika. So now we started getting called for gigs. So one of the first big gigs that I remember was a phone call that we got from Mosound. So Mosound decided to call. They were like, hey guys, we have Groove Tour that's happening. So Groove Tour, this series of tours of events that were happening in various towns outside Nairobi. So show leo ingekuwa Mombasa, ingekuwa na show Nakuru, ingekuwa na show Kisumu, Kakamega. So Groove guys were like, most of them was like, these guys are trying to do something amazing. And this is now around 2013. So we go do a tour. And the first tour was where? Kakamega. So first of all, so how it would work is that, we'd meet in town and then we'd get a tour bus, get into the bus, all the musicians, then start the journey all the way to Kakamega. But this time, because Groove had raised the standard so much, like hata kukuwa na hoteli inge to sustain in Kakamega. So they had to pay for us a very beautiful hotel in Eldoret. I think it was called Mable, whatever. Hiyo, watu LD. Chesa bana. Komenta hapo chini uniambie bana hiyo hoteli inaitwaje. So that was the hotel we were sleeping at. So tumefika tao. So this is like our first big gig. Normally we used to performing in churches, small events here and there, birthday parties that we got to do, but mostly churches, gigs at K-South. See tumechapa show K-South, Korogosho, Umo, Doni, Seti. We've done gigs across multiple places in Nairobi. So we were quite popular in Nairobi. And so, we thought that now if you're popular in Nairobi, you're popular in Kenya. Industry. So we after we were called for that gig together, pale, the bus was picking guys pale at KICC. So we get there. This is my first time to be on such a huge platform. Both me, Dummies and Cards. And now even the other big artists were also there. Kina Hope Kid, Kina Chris Aero, the DJs, Kina Sadiq, DJ Mo. Yani, so first of all, so when we got there, we got into the bus. First of all, now you see, I'm so timid that I like sitaki kuharibu maneno, sitaki kuchoma picha, so nimenyamaza. Yani unajua msia kitoa joke kwa cause unajua utaki waseme aseni watiaji bana, tebu watu kwa hiyo list. So you're trying to really make everyone happy, you're trying to be courteous, you're in that bus, and I could just see the confidence with the bigger artists, like the way DK alikuwa anakaa hivi, man, wasi wanafurahi, yani kila msee anataka tu ku surround DK akiingia kwa hiyo basi makelele, yani he's like the life of the party. I want to say he's the party of the life, no, he's the life of the party. And then so I'd see the confidence that these guys have when they're coming to the bus, and then now also met Hope Kids. I thought I had prepared myself for this journey. I had like my phone fully charged to 100%, and I had my earphones. So I thought like, sasa mimi ni mimi. But I even need to give these tour companies, Kina Bountiful, everyone, I need to give them tips on how to travel light. So si mimi niko hapo earphones simu. Man, I checked like because I sat the seat that I was sitting at, like 2 rows next was Hope Kid. Maze Hope Kid kwanza amekaa maze, kwanza akona power bank, akona simu, akona power bank, akona simu. I think alikuwa na simu mbili. He's so well organized. Homie is so neat. He has like 4 shoes. Like the shoes you have, there's high probabilities on your shoes that you tend to perform nazo. No, not for him, man. Man's like so confident. He even came in like sandals, some white socks. He has like shoes here. He has a big bag, kuna nguo. I think hata Hope Kid alikuwa na nguo za kutoka Nairobi hadi Nakuru. Alafu kuna nguo that sijui kama alikuwa that extreme, but yani alikuwa tu amejipanga. So I was like, what? Guys are living well, guys are neat. So I'm there, I'm so timid, I don't even want to talk much. Juu unaweza sema kitu ushukishiwe hapo Naivasha ama hapo Kimende. Ama utaki kasirisha tu client. So tumetulia nini, we went for the gig in Kakamega. The shocking part about Kakamega is that, remember I told you we were getting played in Nairobi. And in Nairobi we kind of had a small buzz. So we thought that this small buzz is across the country, that maybe us wanatujua Nairobi, maybe tukiingia next, the same guys know us. So we get to Kakamega. And at that time we were not like big. We were not big. Like, we were literally very new. So we were the guys who when you walikuwa nafungua show. My friend, let me tell you one thing. It's one thing to be famous in Nairobi. It's another thing to be famous in Kenya, like in other cities across Kenya. So sasa hapo ndo tulifundishwa tuliona kizungumkuti. Get on stage. I was like, hey, Kakamega, are you ready for I'm a champion? Wana wafula hapo pale ananiangalia kwa like, bado. Atuichui bwana. Like guys were not responding. Like and alafu the stadium is big because it had like 6,000, 7,000 people. 6,000 people. That was like the biggest crowd I had ever seen. Yani ilikuwa kumaliza performance na arambe. But anyway, sikuwa nataka kulala nyayo house your time. So your time we went to perform, the crowd didn't care about us. Like we didn't have that much hype. So they didn't know our music. But we still performed anyway and we killed that show. Well, so we thought. Hey, so me like after umeshuka kuna zile stories. Hii crowd iko chini, hii ase wako down, ase wapeni muziki. Wacha, ni wewe hawajui. The next on stage was DK. DK steps like this. Alafu at that time Furi was here. That crowd was crazy. That crowd went wild. Everyone is like Furi dancing. You do much for me. The whole stadium is singing along to this. So Like you even catch feelings, you even feel rejected. I even nilikuwa bakisha kiasi nipatie ase questionnaire. Why don't you love me? Why don't you like my music? I have taken so much time to record. Why are you not even appreciating? But that was it. And now the thing that I learned at that point was that first of all, fame is different. Like you can be famous in Nairobi, absolutely no one knows you outside of Nairobi. And then there are people now who are also famous across the whole country. Now these were the learning steps. So we finished the gig, we go back to Eldoret where we were sleeping. And at this time, by the way, crowd ilikuwa inataka tu Baha na Will Paul. Like crowd is just like tunataka Bahati, tunataka Will Paul, Bahati, Will Paul. Hey man, and Pose I think akakama a bit late. So he couldn't perform, but he had to get into the bus so that we go back together. I told you we are not sleeping in Kakamega, we're sleeping in Eldoret because more sound and standards wanapelekananga hivi. So we went back to LD with Kina Jose. And when I came back, I was like, when we came back as a group, instead of catch feelings, instead of being disappointed that, we've gone to a place and people don't know us, we sat down as a group and we were like, Bona say, wanna respond to Jose and Baha. And mind you, we started almost the same time with Baha. In fact, hiyo time senye tunaenda hizo straight up, zenye si tumeinvitiwa, Baha's just humbly pushing his song there, Mama. 3 months down the line, my G, homie Zuko, yani ameshika almost the whole country. So when we came back, we were like, there's no need for us to feel discouraged, to catch feelings. So why is it that these people like these people and they don't like these people? Why is it that they're responding more to these songs? Like ikifika ni songs zetu, wanalenga. So we realized that the sound was an issue. The hip hop thing, the rap iko inawabamba hata kidogo. But when you do Boom Twaf is now like the dance songs. They were responding so well. So when we came back, is when we started working on a song called Some More. That's when we did that song. Bye-bye, give me some more. Barakai, give me some more. Some more.
Bye-bye, give me some more. Barakai, give me some more. Aye, give me some more. Some more.
That's when we came back and did that song. Because tulikuwa nataka sasa to get the wide audience, the mass appeal. So tukarudi, and this is 2013 coming into 2014. So in 2015 is when you remember the mobilization thing that we used to do. We mobilized guys so much that we won the Groove Award, Group of the Year. Wazee nakumbuka tulichoma, tulipanda hapo kwa stage. I don't even know why I got onto that stage, because we just blabbered, tukachoma picha, tukasema tunataka kulikuwa na sponsors wali pull out on that specific day.
Christ Cyco! Nikipata nikikosa. Sifa kwa baba. Nikipata nikikosa. Sifa kwa baba. Sifa kwa baba.
Wow. Yani, it's crazy. Yani, I don't even know that these things happen to people. We just want to thank God. We want to thank everyone who voted for us. Relax. Big shout out to Kelele Takatifu. These guys have mentored us all along, yani. We're in the same category, we win, yet they're the ones who've guided us. Big shout out to our pastor, Pastor George, DJ Moz, DJ Kroba, Murugi, yani, we love you guys. Thank you so much.
Mi naongeanga Kiswahili kwa wale wanajasikia. We like to thank everybody who has supported our music. Kila mtu, our mafans zote wenye walivote wakiwa home, mom, dad, Pastor George, we thank you man. Alafu all the presenters who have played us, all the DJs wenye wametucheza. Unanipigia na kusikia.
Thank you so much guys. Hola.
And that was the journey for Some More and for Christ Cycles, and things were doing well. After that, we started getting gigs here and there. Doors started opening, and now in that whole process of trying to win the Kenyan audience or to put my fans outside Nairobi, tukaimba song na a guy called Manizi was a Kale guy, and us now we knew bas sasa tunaimba na Mkale, wacha nikuambie brand ambassadors wa URP ni Cyco. Like we knew we were just gonna take over Eldoret, itakuwa ya Mandago na Cyco hivi. That's not what happened. Your song it could be, I don't even know why that song did that well. I thought that song was supposed to be a hit. So that's when we did that's now after we won the award in 2015, we did the song called Some More with the producer Saint P in 2015. Then the same year, I think 2016 now, we did a song with Manizi. We're just now trying to capture the wider audience. But also at this time, guys in the group also want to do different things. Dambis and Kags want to focus on other things. And I also need to continue with music on another level. So this is 2015, 2016, the group. Guys in the group also want to do other things. And you know, people just had different ambitions, and it was okay. So we had to part in a nice way. So between 2015 and 2016, there's not much happening. There's not much happening with Cyco. So niko na a lot of time with my hands. What do I decide to do? I decide to tag along Kelele Takatifu. Every gig they go, I'm there. Ukiwaona Eldoret, tutatafuta tu vizuri, you'll see me there behind the scenes. You see them here, I'm there behind the scenes. Because this guy is also, I think in 2015, they also stumbled upon a hit song, which was Itakuwa Ngori. Man, Itakuwa Ngori was massive.
Itakuwa Ngori, bila Yesu itakuwa Ngori. Itakuwa Ngori, mwisho wa story.
Like I knew of hit songs, and I thought we had a hit with Chama Champion. That was nothing. Now Itakuwa Ngori is known all over, man, and I'm spending so much time with them as well. So I'm learning how they do things. So when we go to like a church in LD, I'm the one taking care of their errands, and you know, I'm like their manager. Was like, hey, yo doiko, wanaka wapi? You know, wana kula nini, where they sleeping and all that stuff. So that's what I used to do for them at that time. And I was also like their driver, because I'm just good in driving, and like I love long distance driving. So we started hanging a lot with these guys. And this was the time that now the group was transitioning now. Like the group broke, and now I had to start doing my own things. So the group officially broke in 2016. And at this time, I'm very confused, because I've been praying to God to give me a breakthrough through the group. You know, I've been praying to God to give us a hit song as a team, so that we just make money out of music. But nothing was coming, nothing was adding up, man. In fact, things were just like after the tours, after we did Some More and all, money still wasn't coming, and maybe that's one of the things that really pushed guys not to have so much sight for it. So after that, I'm now confused, and I decide to start pursuing my solo career. So when I'm pursuing my solo career, it was the same time Masika had dropped Mwema. And that song was written by a guy known as Mr. V. So it doesn't take a genius to figure out that kama unataka hit song, na huyu ndio aliandika hit song, who's the best person to give you a hit song? Mr. V. So I holla at Mr. V. Mr. V is a cool guy, like, hey, ni aje V, hey, mambo Ben, mambo, habari ya masiku. I like imitating V, because V is my boy, man. So V writes for me an amazing song. That song is called Ililile. So with that song, I was just trying to, like, I just wanted this song to be like a mass song, like, you know, ijulikane na watoto, wazee, guys in Nairobi, guys in Ocha. Nothing, man. That video went nowhere. And then also, like, I remember even the video, like, you know, we had some dance, like tulikuwa tumejipanga na some of my cool dancers. How do I forget these guys? There were dancers from Lighthouse Church along Jogoro. Those are the guys we were working with at that time. So tukapambana, tukajazana kwa van, tukaenda Athi River kushoot video hii song yenye Mr. V ametupea, which was called Ililile. So we shot it at Enos Estate. Like tulikuwa like Enos, sasa mbona tunashinda tukitafuta set na wewe unaishi London, tushutie tu hapa hivi. Enos was kind enough to give us his place to shoot. So Dambis was shooting, but also Enos was also shooting. But more, Dambis is the one who was handling most of the things at that time. So we did Lilile, me there with my fur coat, just wake up in the morning, jambo la kwanza na shukuru.
When I wake up in the morning, jambo la kwanza na shukuru. Siku itambe, what a way to start my day. Siku itambe, what a way to start my day.
Oh man, sasa senye nimetoka group niko na ambitions mazee kwa sababu I really want to make it big in the music industry. So I'm like, mimi nisha study game na niko ready kutoanisha watu. Pose na baha wachunge sana na kuja hizo viti zao. Wapi? Lile didn't go anywhere. Lile didn't even do well at all. And at that time, by the time natoka kwa group, you remember I've also been working with Kelele. So I have so many connections from the industry. Like every time they would go for an interview here, wakishamaliza interviews, do you the trend, mimi naingia hapo. So who's the producer huku, so I take the number and try to keep in touch with them. Just uoneka utachezwa bana, unajua. So I had a full media tour, well planned. Like Monday, this is where I'm going. Tuesday, this is where I'm going. Wednesday, this is where I'm going. Thursday, this is where. I remember that media tour was so well planned. Even Daddy Owen Harlan was like, bro, who's doing these things for you? Like Dad Owen, the big boss. And you know, at that time, Yani Owen is, even at this time, Owen is just like on a legendary level. I don't classify him with even guys in our generation. He's like a forefather, he's like a pioneer. So Owen is like, hey bro, you're doing amazing. So I'm like, even have validation here, Owen. My guy, we're about to take over. God, we are about to take over. I do that song does not do well. In fact, a lot of DJs didn't even play that song. Most people don't even know I have that song. That's how badly it performed. Hey, Mazen, I started being stressed because now I've gotten the best writer. I've done this good video. I've done a good media tour. I didn't do well, man, and I almost got into depression. But at that point, I think what God was trying to do with my life, He was just trying to give me so much confidence to believe in my own stuff, like to write my own songs, come up with my own concepts, and believe in them. Simple. So this was 2016. In 2017, January, I meet up with a producer called Vicky Pondis. Vicky Pondis is such an amazing guy. Vicky Pondis has done some of the best songs that you know with Otile Brown. Vicky Pondis may produce songs from gospel to secular. He's the guy from Nadeka. He's the guy. So at that time I approached Vicky. I'm like, yo bro, niaje? Made up a group. And man, I'm so broke. But I have some small savings I wanted to give you so that we see how many songs we can work on. Vicky nani? Vicky is such a nice person. I think hizi kitu tuna wakamba watu wa zero safi. Unanga tu mambo. Vicky gave me a deal to record those 3 songs, and the first song that we did was called Neema. So this day that I'm actually going to record Neema, I meet somebody else in studio as well, and this guy is called Magix. But I'll talk about Magix in like a few minutes. But first, let's talk about Neema. So I do this jump called Neema. It's bouncy. It has this rap feel to it. You know, it's very emotional. It's very deep. But I'm so scared about it, I didn't even push this song. Like, ilitoka tu hivi, kanimeweka YouTube, I didn't even do a media tour. So it didn't do well. Like, your song bado iko 7K. Unajua hiyo song imebakisha kiasi nipigie watu wa YouTube niulize, kwani kuna shida na kwa backend? Kwani kuna bug? Is there a bug getting those views? You should know something that you thought that would do well, but it didn't do well at all. Up to today, I think right now iko, sijui imefika 10K, sijui iko 7K, I don't even know right now what it's at. But for comment section, you see everyone is like, this song is so underrated. Why is this song not a hit? Why is this song not on a million? Like, that's like, I always imagine this how those guys are dancing with. This song is so overrated. This song is so nice. Anyway, in case you're looking for professional dancers. So I did Neema. Neema did well in terms of sound and all, because I got some calls. Like, I remember the first person who called me after I did that song was Riga, man. Now, for those guys who followed gospel music for a long time, you know, Riga is not a small person. He's like an OG in this business. So when he called and affirmed me, I was like confident. So now I'm a bit confident. So sasa naanza kuwa na kichwa ya kufanya kazi, si kichwa ya maringo. So we did a song with Vicky Pondis called One Touch. At this time also that I'm doing this music, remember, I don't have money. Like, we're not getting money from anywhere. So you basically use the little money that you had saved to do all these projects.
Sure. Been Cyco on this. No Vicky on this. With Jesus on this. Basi come, come nipe tabasamu, iguse mara moja na fahamu, iguse mara moja cause you can, iguse mara moja it's your turn, iguse mara moja nimelan.
We do one touch, but also at the same time, at this time that I'm also doing one touch, I'm so broke, man. Like, you know, and now you're dating my guy, so you need money and you're dating a pretty chick who is also a YouTuber. So I decided to look for a job. So what's the best place to work? I decided to look for a job that's within the industry, which was More Sound, because we had worked with More Sound. So I called Kevin Blay. I was like, hey Kev, I'd love to come and do whatever. The problem with my skill is that I can't say I'm an accountant, I can't say I'm HR, I can't say I'm legal, I can't say there's something specific that I do. I'm just a creative, so it's so hard to put me in a specific department. So Kev was like, you just come, you serve. So I served under Groove. At the same time that I'm serving under Groove, I'm still pushing my music aggressively. Hakuna time yenye ati ilikuwa like this time now we don't care about music. All this time I'm waking up every day, I'm asking myself, what do we need to do? What do we need to crack? So each time I just nimeingia job More Sound nini. Now at More Sound sitaki kuasirisha watu. So sitaki kuuliza, I don't even want to ask about salary. I don't even want to ask about benefits. Like no, you want to be just a good boy there. So when I was at More Sound, I worked under Groove. So here's the thing, looking for a job when there's something else you do on the side is kind of heartbreaking, because you're like, is this thing not good enough? And you see, this thing that you're doing, you're also giving it 100%. But now you have to look for something else to do that will give you money. And it's still, like, it was so discouraging for me. I was so disappointed going for that job. I was like, God yenyewe unapenda kunichezea. Na hii ni time unaniwestia. Mimi ungeniacha tu niendelee na mambo zangu za corporate. This music thing was really a waste of time. And I was extremely down and extremely discouraged. So that time I got a job at More Sound. The fact I was so desperate, like I didn't even ask for a pay. I was like, you know what, even the first 6 months I'll come work for free. I just want to work or just do something. Because finally realizing if you are home, I have so much time on my hands. I can say, yes, you want a song daily, but we want a song for like 2 hours, 3 hours. What am I doing the rest of the day? So I was like, let me get a job. So I go to More Sound. Now you see, corporate is a bit tricky because of what's organized. So me, I just go on a lab. Like I just go on a jolly days of videos what is a tech. So now I need a lab, I need a machine, I need all that stuff. And the struggling and the tricky part was now, like, even money for lunch is such a hassle. But thank God for some people, because I remember very well at More Sound, there was this chick called Murugi. So Murugi alikuanga kioda lunch yake anaoda pia lunch ya Ben. And Murugi alikuwa like, oh Ben, mimi sipendi beef inanifanya napata two rashes. Beef, the ghetto. So I just want chicken. So daily alikuwa anaoda kuku yake, anaoda kuku ya Ben. It's like, shy, kuna msee anaweza afford kubai kuku 2 daily. You know, it had not hit me. Like, unajua ukizoea luck for so long, and then now you see somebody doing something that you're not so used to. You're like, wow, so this side exists. So that was Murugi, and big shout out to you, Murugi. So Moru is the one who would like cater for lunch for a very, very long time at More Sound. And when I'm serving at More Sound, I'm also when I release this song One Touch, I'm trying to get so many interviews, but interviews barely come through. Now see, I don't blame the media guys. If you don't have buzz, I mean, Nikki Roka Wekago command. Yeah, I mean, we're only getting people who have hype. Those want numbers. So nisikuwa na any of that. So what I was doing is that I volunteered to take care of artists. So on this Friday, I was taking care of Groove artists who are nominated for Groove Awards, who are having an interview on the trend. Who are these artists? Guardian Angel and Rebecca Dawn. Me, I'm happy, first of all, because I'm a huge fan of Guardian and Rebecca Dawn. Boss, Rebecca Dawn is like, her level is just crazy. She's just on another level. So happy, like, you know, I'm getting to meet up with them. We'll talk. So before Rebecca, so ikafika time at the trend. Mind you, time nimekuwa nikiomba God mazisi unifungulie milango mazina need kwenda the trend. Nakemea hizo mapepo zote zenye zinakataa na interview yangu. Ninazivunja. So at this time tumeenda hiyo interview na Rebecca and Guardian. Guardian goes first. After Guardian, the guys for the trend tell Rebecca, hey, by the way, Rebecca, you will be performing as well. So Rebecca, you know, there's some people who actually take their art very serious and very professional, and Rebecca is one of those people. So if you had called her for an interview and you're now adding performance, it's tricky because she does live, and so she needs her equipment, and they had not told her in advance, so she couldn't compromise on that. And I really respect. In fact, nilikuwa shocked. Nilikuwa guy more than kuna watu wanakatanga interviews at the trend. Rebecca was like, if you guys can do this, it's okay. And she was very kind and courteous with them. Hakuwa na madharau. Aliwaambia tu vizuri, this is just how I do things. So the trend haina msee. Sasa Rebecca ndio alikuwa anafaa kufunga. The trend haina msee. So Larry yako like, so wasi naona wasi hapo wako chaos. Alafu unajua mimi hiyo day like nilikuwa nimevaa tu some shady jacket and some t-shirt because I was just basically working. In fact, I had a hoodie. Because I was just doing the runnings up and down, so I wasn't planning to go on air. So Larry goes like, I know that guy. Ask him if he can come on air, if he wants to go on set. And here's another thing. If you're in a certain industry and you're pushing your thing, the big guys or the big shots or the big fish or the big players in the industry, they probably know you. They probably have seen your works. Maybe they've never talked about it, they've never called you, but they probably know you. And that's how I knew on that day. Because I had been trying to get an interview on the trend. It was hard. But on this day, Larry's like, undo tunaingia naye. Sasa mimi nani? Mimi ni wale waso grab opportunity, take it as it is. Mimi sitaki kujua ka mevaa t-shirt ya senyenge ama vest. That's the one that I'm gonna go with on set. So that's how I went on set. And that was my first interview on the trend. And I remember it was so big because was all like, hey Ben, mazi umeomoka budo ulikitaje Larry? After your time, you know, it's a different story when it happens and the story you tell your friends. Like, hii kitu ni branding tu, hii kitu inakonga tu branding, connections, unapush tu, unajua, unajipanga poa, contact the trend, unawatumia hadi profile, unawatumia numbers zako, impressions, unajua, hii industry inahitaji professional, na utafute pia manager bro. That's how the story I'm telling guys. But on the real sense, like, this was just something, like, it was just a mistake that I got myself there. And that's one of the big interviews that really pushed One Touch. So after this, I'm also trying to get onto other interviews. So I'm trying to get Jalango. But now Jalango is hard. I love you see Jalango, the fact that he supports a lot of Kenyan music. Anakuanga na line. Wase wanakuanga hapo hivyo wamemtumia masong. So mimi nilikuwa najua if I keep sending this guy these songs, he might ignore them or he won't take me serious. So what do I do? Jalango is having a social media talk somewhere with Anyiko. And who else was there? So I attended this place because now I knew musicians unaweza wapata wakimgoja nje ya milele. But this time he was at Radio Maisha. Musicians, no, Hot 96 with Jeff. You will find musicians all scrambling to get Jalango after his show. But no one will go to like a place where he's doing a social media talk. So that's where I went. So after all that stuff, mazi nimeattend kitu ya social media. Mimi hata sitaki kusikiza hizi vitu za social media. Mimi akili yangu iko far. But nauliza hadi maswali, nauliza okay. So if I have one Facebook page and I have another Facebook page, like nauliza swali tu damdam at least I'm like, okay, there's this guy here. Who is this? So after that, I took to him my song on the phone. Like, hey bro, niaje umecheki song? He was like, yeah, I've seen it. Another big shot saying they've seen it. So all these guys had seen this thing, but hujafika level bado ya for them to call you, and it's okay. So I did a song called Nashukuru. Nashukuru now was a bit easier to push because by the fact that nilikuwa nimesukuma Jalango before achukue the song, akaniita interview Hot 96. And at that time it was not just anyone was going to Hot 96 to be interviewed by Jeff Koinange and Jalango, you get. But this time Jalango amenikubalisha mimi nikam. Mind you, si tulianzia na wapi? We started from Neema. Mimi nilianza kumsukuma from Neema. He's not given me an interview in like 2 years, you get. But this is the time where he's like, bros, you come through. So guys were like, hey Ben maze, uliketaje Jeff na Jalango? Ikitu ni branding bro. Ikitu ni branding, the strategy, nothing, hakuna. And I feel like that's what we sell to the world. That's what we tell people. Behind the scenes, it's a different story. Because now you can see behind the scenes, I was literally trying to get his attention, and I did, and he called me for the interview. That's when we did a song called Nashukuru. Nashukuru, the recording session was also very funny because I get in studio. Vicky Pondis, you remember that deal he had given me to be doing various songs? He's also with another guy, and another producer, like, hey, so I say hi to this guy, hey, niaje Buddha, what's your name? Hey, my name is Magic's Anger. But at that time Magic Senga hajafanya any popular songs. He's not done any hit song. So I'm like, okay, this guy he's a bit dope. So Magic's ni aje situanze kufanya ma songs pamoja. Magic's haja change. Magic's from you alieka bei yake 10 Gs. Na alieka 10 Gs yenye hata hakuna mtu anamjua. Na Magic's akaniambia, "Buda mimi siwezi shuka chini ya 10 Gs mazee. Na itabaki umeka msai juu kataongezeka." So I thought this guy was just bluffing. Way a few months down the line, Magic Senga is one of the top producers in this country. But he had a lot of input with like Nashukuru. Hata ukisikizia song hizo BGVs zoko za Magic Senga. Because I think at one point Vicky was not feeling well. So Vicky akaniambia, but niko na msee hapa, ni msee mnoma, mnaweza kama mdu na yeye. That guy was Magic Senga. And that's how we did that song called Nashukuru. Did I think Nashukuru was gonna be big? Of course I thought Nashukuru was gonna be big. So I pushed it. It just performed okay. But now at this time, Mazee does meisha, man. So like I need now. This the time sasa pia niko Mosan. But see, I'm also not getting money from this place. So I have to think of another place to record because pia you can't ask favors so much from people. We do Nashukuru, but sasa though like I ran out of money. Like I don't have money to continue producing with Vicky Pondis. And Vicky Pondis was so gracious to me. Like alikuwa ni charge some incredible amounts. I don't even want to tell you. But even that crazy amount, I don't have a single coin. So not unless he wants to do it for free, maybe, you know. But you have to do this music. It's your passion. It's your gift. So every single money you would get, you just save. You do a video. You save. In fact, these videos zote zilikuwa na 10. So I had to stop working with Vicky because of the financial problems. So at this time, because now I'm spending so much time also at home, at work, home, because I don't have anything else I'm doing. I meet this guy called Gudaman. Gudaman is like, "Hey bro, there's a studio at the place where you stay. Hapo tu nyuma, just go check it out." So because I was trying to write songs every day, I was like, niende kwa studio boy. I can be recording demos, then once those demos are beautiful or they're good enough, I take them to Big Fish, to a big producer to edit them out. So we went there and we did a song called Cheza Kama Wewe. Boss, this song tuli record na shida. Because first, Seville doesn't have equipment. He's also like literally, he's starting out. And this is what showed me that Seville is really gifted. Because aliproduce hiyo Cheza Kama Wewe, hiyo mic nakumbuka kuna time, hiyo mic ilikuwa gadi na mawaya zinatoka huko nje. Yaani ulikuwa unaikaribia hivi kiasi unakulwa show. Cheza kama wewe, cheza kama you get like there was an electric shock kwa hiyo mic because of how shady it was. Like ilikuwa dangerous mazi, hata hatukuwa na headphone. Ulikuwa una record mwanzo inakaa fiti hivyo inakaa. And that's how we recorded Cheza Kama Wewe. And the reason why I did Cheza Kama Wewe is that I was trying to get audience. Nilikuwa trying to get watu wa mtaa. So nilikuwa najua hapa watu wa mtaa ni mimi. Hapa ni Major ni mimi anapigia siku sasa. Ni mimi niko na the ghetto guys. So we did Cheza Kama Wewe, but it didn't also do as much as I wanted. Because remember, I don't have like a pushing budget, and also at this time nimetone down on my interview kwa sababu ile energy ya kwanza ya lile nilikuwa so disappointed. So I was like, hizi songs pia I'll push to where I can. Hiyo part nyingine yenye uwezi pia unawachana nayo. But I remember when I did Cheza Kama Wewe, Ghetto Radio picked it up. And Ghetto Radio jammed to that song. They played that song almost every day. Like there were DJs who would mix huku downtown, huku Kirinyaga Road, River Road. There's some DJs who would send me videos of them mixing inside those clubs. Now I say wana cheesy. Like DJ I didn't have pull up is to Google there. Kama DJ kuanzisha the whole song, like to start it again. That's the pull up. So like that song did well in the streets, in the huko ndani. But there was still a problem because umse anataka kuongea hiyo sheng ya mtaa hakai venye tunafikiria na behave pia venye tunataka. So there was a huge disconnect with that project. Mind you, at this time hizi songs hazitoki ati hii song inatoka this month, hii song inatoka next month. You do a song in Jan because you need to accumulate funds to do stuff. The other song you'll have to do it in June. in December. Say your fans wako, Ben Cyco ulienda wapi? Ben Cyco nilikwambia ukitoka group, wewe ni waabida, nilikwambia ukitoka group, wewe umeisha, nilikwambia ukitoka group, tafuta career nyingine. You know, there were all those things were happening and guys were still giving these kinds of feedback. So it was very straining and very depressing. But after Cheza Kama Wewe, that's when we did a song called Najinais. And Najinais was big, man. Najinais was huge. So this time, Kele Takatifu have also broken up. But they also need to tell you, Kele Takatifu have also broken up during this time. And Moji joins this industry. You see this industry that I've been trying to crack like this. Moji alitupita kama Lamborghini, kama McLaren. Homie just comes kuzitoka, just comes vimba that guy is on Coke Studio. Homie is doing group hosting. We're like, hey, huyu jamaa kwani anatumia nini hiyo, man? So at this time, Didi approaches me and is like, hey bro, so we do something. So that's when we did Najinais. Now, Najinais was actually a good project. Did it with Vicky Pondis. So your time Didi ndio alikuwa analipa. So mimi kazi yangu ilikuwa kutokea na kuwekelea vocals vizuri. So tukafanya Najinais and we did a very proper video. Remember that clout thing that I was telling you? Because clout was working for every other person. We were like, sasa since hii video iko na wase wanakaa poa, kuna mademu wanakaa fiti, kuna maboy wanakaa fiti, tutapiga mapicha, tukawa tumeshikana hivi, alafu tutumie wase wa parts, tuambie Ben Cyco spotted at a party. You are scared. Imagine no one, yani hakuna mtu anajali juu ya vitu kama hizo. So hiyo clout ikaenda wapi? But when you were pushing Najinais, I met BN. And we met BN at an interview at K24. So BN is like, Mazi ngoma ni moto. Like even later on alikam comment kwa hiyo picha nini mafaya emojis. And ali comment tu hivi kama nimepigia mtongo ku frame. By the way, unaweza ni frame emoji. Unaweza ni frame emoji. Yani kuna comment ataka uniweke kwa, you know, like in a nice beautiful frame and then send it to me for remembrance because this is a legend. This is BN. So when we chucked Najinais started doing well. But also at this point is also the time when my sister is also gets sick. This is beginning of 2018. So now Joy is sick. This music thing is really annoying me because it's piss off to it's just hard to do. And then on the flip side, I'm trying to also bargain more at work. Then this is also the same time that NRG was starting, and that's when now Kev was like, you need to come to NRG and help with the digital setup. And that's when I started getting into NRG. But when my sister started being sick, I started slowing down on doing music because for me, I feel like I had just gotten to like to the limit. Because I feel like I'm being rejected by the fans because I mean I'm not getting the views and nobody's playing my songs the way they're supposed to, or rather how I thought they're supposed to be played. Because I had studied the industry, I had studied they like melodies, simplicity. This is the kind of beat that people like. So I used to follow all these systems. But bado kitu a product, watu wajali. So at this time I'm feeling so down. I'm feeling so disappointed because I feel like the media is not supporting me, and you can't blame them. I mean, they're in business as well. On this other hand, the fans, in fact, my fans nilikuwa inaniuma. Juu nilikuwa na feel ande wase wenye wanaweza come through for me, but walikuwa na come through but si venye nilikuwa nataka. And then now Joy is sick. And it's weird because each time ya 2018 also we're also doing videos with Wanjiru. Every time I'm on a video with Wanjiru, views go up and people love it. People like it. So these fans, it was like ilikuwa kama relationship yenye unashindwa kupewa mixed signals. Do you want me or do you not want me? Kwa sababu our fans unawapatia music, well, they would accept it, but not as much as they would accept this other content. So it was just so confusing and I used to feel so rejected. Also at this time, I'm also talking to so many people to sign me. Like I had moved from, name it, anyone in the industry who you know is signing guys. I think I'd even tried EMB, man. Because you're just trying to make it, man, and nothing is working. So at this point, I'm running on empty. So I do a song called Like You. A song Like You, that song I did it with a guy called Van. Van is a gifted producer, mad, crazy gifted. But we just things didn't work out the way they were supposed to work out. So I meet this producer called Van. We do this song called Like You. and I'm also trying to make it proper. So I'm trying, you know, to pay for dancers. I'm trying to pay for makeup artists. I'm trying to pay the photographer behind the scenes. Just trying to make this look professional. And it was a good song. It was a good project, but it was still not hitting where I wanted. Because you see, some of the people that were being measured against, man, Kina Moji are doing millions of views. They're doing almost 100,000 in a week. Yes, and above everything, your sister is sick, so it's like everything is just going south. And to be honest, at that point, I started being careless. Being careless meant where now I stopped really following what's happening on the industry. So at this point, I even stopped, you know, always begging presenters. I stopped always begging DJs, not in a bad way. It was just that I had so much on my plate, I couldn't focus on all these other things. So I just stopped doing all of them. I even stopped pushing my music aggressively. I've been rejected so many times, so I even stopped pushing this music a lot. And I started like, you know what, life tutaishi venye inakam. At the same time in that same period, I wrote a song called Anaona. This song, I went to a producer called Alex, and this is the song that we've released with Kambua. The song was recorded 2 years ago, and I just told God, man, you have really been disappointing me left, right, and center. Yani, there's nothing working out for me. But I said, in all this, I'm gonna give you praise. I'm actually going to write for you a good song, and I'm going to write this song to give hope to people who are going through a similar situation. And that's when I did Anaona. The first edition of this song was written by myself and a guy called Godson Jawabu. And we went to Alex, we did the song, Anaona, you know, God is not blind, God sees whatever you're going through. And case closed, but it's like Godson at that point also wanted to focus on something else. Because I remember asking him, hey bro, do we release this song? At this point, he wanted to go chini, so I took a juice sana, so. And Godson wasn't really feeling the vibe. So I told him, yeah, it's okay, if you're not feeling it, I can put somebody else who I know will kill. And that's now when I started thinking, don't limit yourself, even the person who you want to work with. And I reached out to Kambua. Yes, I called Kambua. It was hard to get her, but eventually, after a few months, akakubali, akakam. I remember the first day I told Kambua to come to the studio, she was like, it's okay Ben, nitakuja, wewe nitumie tu address. Address nedo man. Wewe akija South B Center, wana modo ina kafuti, ukiona butchery east side, ukiona nini, just call me. So I had to like go early on that day, you know, set up, organize parking and all. Because Kambua is genuinely a nice person and she's very organized. Like there's a way Kambua does things and she sticks by that. And maybe you can even tell that's why even her brand has become so relevant over time and it's still very impactful because of the order she has put in her brand. So I was very, very humbled. And this time that I released Like You, I wanted to do a very sad song for my sister. But I was like, you know what, God, I won't do a sad song. I'll do a very happy song for you. So I did that song called Happy. I went to Vicky Pondis again, my boy Vicky. I called him, went in studio. The song was done in like half an hour. I am happy. If you listen to those lyrics are very, very, very emotional to me because, you know, I was just trying to tell God, I know you're gonna come through for me. I know you're gonna open this door. I know you're gonna make your face shine upon my life. So in something else, before I jump to new song starts from 2017. New song does not start in 2019 when it was dropped. In 2017, I meet Sedo because Sedo comes a lot to more sound. So I'm like, hey, Buddha, I'm excited to meet him because, you know, I know this is like Dr. Dre. So I tried to get Sedo to do a project with Sedo. Sedo is just like, he's so busy, he's so engulfed with stuff. And this was 2017. I pushed him for the whole year, I was so busy. 2018 ikienda kuisha, Sedo calls me one day, like, hey bro, niaje? I'm in my house, I'm in studio, please come if you can. Wacha nikuambie, I think I was at his place in like 15 minutes. Like I was waiting for this call, like called me like this, I'm at his place. And Sedo's perspective really changed a lot of things about how I even look at the industry. Because we had a discussion about the industry, and Sedo was like, you know, your industry needs a leader, your industry needs maturity, you guys need to start writing content. But I'm like, Sedo, why are you saying all these things? Well, what Kiki venye nauza hapa? Kiki ilikuwa inauza kama kama hizi equipment za content. Ama Kiki ilikuwa inauza kama foundation ya Fenty. Candles were selling, but it was like, don't go that direction, bro. So we started doing a new song. And I wrote this song with a friend of mine called Brandon. Shout out to Brandon. And the BGVs were done by an amazing group called Wanavukali. So we did this. This song also took long because in between I'm pausing my music just to focus on fundraising. Za season ndo kwenda India, lazima mwende mtafute hiyo do. Amazeni nilikuwa na feel. I just felt like yani God is just setting me back so many miles back. Man, I used to feel like God is so unfair. I used to feel like God is so mean. Because why? Like because I look at some of my friends, man. Some are on their second car. Some people are on their second car. Some people are making moves at their workplaces. And here I am. I've been trying to be so faithful with this. I've tried to be so committed. God, I'm just trying to make it, man. Why are you making it so hard for me? So, this is 2018. 2018 was literally my lowest year. If there's rock bottom, that was 2018 for me. 2018 and part of 2018 and part of 2019.
All of 2019, because Joy was still.
Yeah, 2018 and all of 2019. So at this time, music is not working. And you see, I never used to do music as a hobby, guys. I never used to like say this I do for fun. I'm talking about, I could be thinking about a project Monday to Monday, morning to evening. Because unless I'm at work, if I'm not at work, I'm at home writing. If I'm not at home, I'm at work. And if I'm not at home, I'm in the studio writing, just trying to come up with a hit song. Because I recorded so many songs as well with Civil, but no one is playing you. Some people are like, hey, where Ben Wooly and Kuringa? Now you're doing YouTube videos with your girlfriend. Now you're killing your career. Some people are like, miss, this, and then also when me being on Wanjiru's platform started working out, it started rubbing off some people the wrong way. So some people just started automatically just disliking you. They're like, sasa huyo hata tutumiange mziki. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu ndani yeye ni star huko YouTube. Na mind you, your time, mi niko tu na season sick, so hata sina hata energy ya kutuma song. Yani sina anything. The only energy I have ni kurecord na kurelease. Kupush sina. I'm operating on zero, man. And there's some people who, at this point, we just had to fall out because they didn't think that I was serious enough. And I was trying to be very serious. And also the fans, I'm trying as much as possible to get their attention. I'm trying to show you guys, oh my God, I have this amazing song called Happy. You get like 5,000 views in like 5,000 years. You get like 5,000 views in like a month or something. And guys would always, some people would even throw shade at you, man. Like, wewe sasa na hii music yako. You get, and in fact, the most painful of them all were people who would give me advice, and they were right. So, this was, some of them were even CEOs, man. Like, sit down. This music is not going anywhere. This whole influence thing that you're trying to chase is not going anywhere. You need to shut it. Just look at your numbers. Just look at all this. And they were right. I mean, they were right. If a place that I don't argue with them anymore, I'm like, yeah, you have a point. Because you've just been struggling and failing. You're even numb to failure. Have you ever gone to a point where you're numb to failure? Yani wewe, hata unafanyanga vitu kishagala bagala. Not necessarily ati because you're a careless person. It's actually a defense mechanism that you create for yourself. So, to protect your heart from being hurt, you become so immune and a bit careless. Because you don't want to have hopes on a project, another project goes south. So it's like somehow you become detached from your songs. And that was it, man. That was life at that time. So, but also at this time, I'm learning so much about social media. I'm learning so much about digital campaigns because that's what I'm doing at Energy. At the same time, when I go for these briefings and most of these clients had watched me on Wanjiru's channel. So it started becoming weird that now I'm attracting a whole different audience. Mind you, when I started this music, I used to pray to God that I would want my influence to be both in the urban places and in the rural places. Before, as Cycos, we had a bit of rural and we had a bit of wase when you see the kawaida common mwananchi. But now with this channel, it's bringing me now guys at Village Market. You know, now it was very awkward for me to have fans at Village Market. Mimi nilikuwa nimezoea mafans ni ukiwa Ronald Ngala, downtown, Umo, Buru, ukiwa in the hood. Not like when you're in the burbs, in the suburbs, that you gave you Village Market and then, you know, the lady at the counter is like, oh my God, I'm a big fan of you. That's not how they talk. I don't even know I'm imitating them like that. And I realized that during this whole season that my sister was sick, nothing is working, music is down, everything is going south. The way I became a bit careless, later on I now started seeing why I was supposed to be careless. Because me was those people who used to believe that your breakthrough is with somebody. I used to think that, hey, by the way, who DJ Kushika, man, your life has changed. Because we've seen it happen before. We've seen artists being played by a certain show and they blow up big time, you know. And for me, that was my belief up to that point. I thought that I needed to beg some industry players, I needed to beg this DJ, I needed to beg this presenter, I needed to just beg these people for them to kunishika mkono, and none of it was working. So in period yenye niko so overwhelmed that I don't even have the energy to do that, I just started shying off from the industry automatically, and I lost so many relationships by the way during this period. But another weird thing was happening is that guys were really loving it when I'm on the channel, being me. So I'm like, me? They like me? They want? Because unajua kwa industry we are taught to be, you know, be a cool kid, be a cool cat, you know, you don't have problems, you know, life is good, you know, you gotta look good for the gram. But when now I'm on the Wanjiru's channel, I'm just freestyle. I'm just the way venye mu kuwa tu on a daily basis. Kama ni jokes tutacheka, kama ni kuwa emotional tutakuwa emotional, you get. And now when guys started accepting the way I was like that, it started opening my eyes to what God was doing, you know. And God was actually giving me the influence that I had prayed for before. And this is the problem that we face, is that we pray so much for God to give us something. And when He gives us something that's not as familiar as we are used to, or it's not packaged the same way we expected, we reject it. Through this whole journey, I'll tell you some of the things that God has taught me. First of all is comparison, man. Because you remember those first days, I used to compare myself with every other artist, and that trend is still happening. Even up to today, some people will say it's good for competition, but I just think it's really not that impactful. You just need to have your own vision, follow your own vision, and every other thing aligns. In fact, when you have your own vision, people tend to copy what you are doing, you know? And if you don't have a vision. If you do not have a vision, you're challenging yourself. And if you don't have a vision, you start copying what other people are doing. So this was my vision from the onset. You know, I wanted to have impactful music, and I also didn't just want to have music that people just comment on the comment section, fire emojis. I want people to give me testimonials that your song got me through this time. Your song, I was jobless, your song took me through it. I was happy, your song took me through it. Those are the kind of things that I always envision my music doing. And so here we are with Anaona now. 2 years down the line with Kambua. This is a very beautiful song that talks about God sees whatever you hustle you're going through. I know it's been a tough COVID season, and some people are having a good time, some people are not having a good time, some people have lost jobs, and I don't know what situation you're in, but this song is just supposed to give us hope and to give us faith, and that this song is just supposed to give us hope and to give you faith that whatever you're going through, whatever you're struggling with, God sees all that. And the Bible says, for those who read the Bible, my pastor will be so proud. The Bible says that you cannot ask God for bread and He gives you a stone. You ask for fish, He gives you a snake. So if God is the one who has put the vision that you have in your heart, He's gonna see it to fulfillment. You just need to trust Him and give Him time. You might be in a situation where you might not think that this is not where I'm supposed to be. Maybe you are working at a totally different industry from what you feel like God is calling you. God has a purpose to why you're there. And this is why I shared this video, that people might get to understand that you have to trust the process. You have to trust God throughout the process, because it's not just about achieving the said goal. It's about you achieving that said goal, but you also need to have changed. Otherwise, you will spoil whatever God has put for you. During this whole time, I feel like God has worked on my patience. God has worked on my comparison. I rarely compare myself to people. I rarely even check what other people are doing. I even told somebody else that, yes, I watch some content creators, and I watch a lot of content creators, but I don't want to get myself into that that entanglement for I'm comparing what they're doing, what are they doing, do they have this campaign or not. No, those are the things that now you need to kill. Another thing that God has taught me is to just believe in himself, because this is 2019 when we did New Song. In 2020, in fact, what God has taught me is to believe in him as well. Now at this point, God has just, because he has stripped you of all these other things that you used to depend on, and now you're just left with no option other than just to depend on God. And I think that's the space that I'm at right now, the space of depending on God. And you remember, now we were at New Song in 2019, when 2019 is coming to a complete end. When January comes in, now I feel like things have come back to normal. My sister has improved, music is starting to pick up, rather I'm becoming more confident with my things. So now I'm really excited. So 2020 was supposed to be that year. Now we are reclaiming all that time we lost, but I lost my sister again, man, and that was another down season for me. And by the time this is happening, I'm completely, like, I've just left it to God. I'm just like, you know what, God, you're the one who knows what you want to do with this brand. If this is the point where you want to finish it, then finish it and tell me what you want me to do next. If this is the point that you want to elevate it, then elevate it, God, and let all glory come to you. Let people be blessed by all this. And this is now 2020 when I lost my sister, and that was a down time for me. But God still gave me hope somehow, somewhere. It's something that I can't even explain. Even Wanjiru was telling me the other day that we can only see this as a higher force than us. And that's true. That's God. That's God who came so close to our hearts during this time, and just, even gave me more energy to continue doing these things, to continue doing music even after this. Because even after my sister passed, I still had more energy to do it, because there's one message Joy sent me this year, actually, when I launched my first podcast, and she was like, hey, you're so amazing in front of the camera. I really like how you talk. You have it in you. Go get it. I want you to give us the best songs, because Joy was also the person who would give me feedback on what's happening, what are people listening to. So she was like, I want you to go win. I want you to go take over. So I also know, even if she was alive, what my sister would have wanted is for me to continue doing this, and to do it well, and to continue inspiring people, and continue just being a blessing to people. So this is the story of my trusting the process. So that's been it. This is like a low budget CTA. It's like CTA on a budget. It's like CTA mini or CTA takeaway. If you guys have not subscribed to CTA, you need to go subscribe to CTA right now. So that's been my story. This is the story of Anaona. Let me know what you think about the song. The song is right there on the description. Just click on the link, and you can also buy the song. I'll also put the link on the description box below. Thank you so much for watching this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this has been an encouragement to you. Let me know what you think. I'll be back with the other two hosts. If we get enough, there's a bailout we are expecting from the government for small businesses to bring back employees that we had retrenched. They're on unpaid leave currently. Thank you so much, guys. Remember to subscribe. I love you. Have a blessed week.